Right, I'm going Costa's. Does anyone want anything?
Ooh, yes please. Could I get a latte?
Course, chocolate sprinkles?
Yeah, with chocolate sprinkles.
Now, for those of you who don't know what a Tesco meal deal is, firstly, do you live under a rock? You get a main, you get a snack and a drink at a discounted price.
What's going on YouTube? It's Jason and welcome to day number 37 and day number 15 of my sugar experiment. What I'm going to do today is something slightly different. I'm going to eat like a typical 9 to 5 corporate worker and show you how easy it is to rack up added sugar. The average Brit is consuming around 700 grams of sugar per week and around 60 grams of added sugar per day, which is double the recommended daily allowance. I've worked in the corporate world for around 7 years. I've seen this firsthand and I've now been a coach for around 10 years. These numbers are true, and in my opinion, they are pretty conservative. Now you might be sitting there thinking, Jason, you're doing much more than these numbers in your sugar experiment. Yes, but this is where context is key. I have a low body fat, my diet is otherwise nutritious, and I live an active lifestyle. So sugar doesn't have the same impact on my body. Take average Joe who can't take these things for granted, and they increase their risk of things like type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and even cancer. So Monday morning weigh-in is $86.3, so 0.3 up from last week. Let's do a flexed physique update. So not looking too bad considering I'm pretty much at the end of my bulk. Let's measure my waist. So 31.75, pretty much the same as last week. So I've got 1 week left of the bulk. Let's push things and see where we end up. So a typical start to the day for those who have breakfast is cereal. They definitely have more than 30 grams.
Hi Jason, good weekend?
Yeah, good, thanks. You?
Yeah, not bad, thanks.
Good. What the data also shows is that those who skip breakfast not only miss out on vital nutrients, but are also at greater risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Now, I'm not going to say that correlation equals causation and that those who skip breakfast are going to get diabetes just because they skip breakfast, but what it does imply is that those who skip breakfast, outside just skipping breakfast, are likely making poorer lifestyle choices and are probably overweight, and this leads to all sorts of diseases. So while the calorie consumption of those who skip breakfast and those who eat breakfast are similar according to science, what we see is that those who eat breakfast tend to be healthier people and tend to make better lifestyle choices. So to start the day, as a conservative estimate, we're looking at between 10 and 12 grams of added sugar per bowl.
Right, I'm going Costa's. Does anyone want anything?
Ooh, yes please. Could I get a latte?
Course, chocolate sprinkles?
Yeah, with chocolate sprinkles. Thanks. Can I nick a couple?
Yeah, course.
Cheers.
No worries.
So, back out of roll, it's just gone 11 AM and I've got 14 grams of sugar in my latte. That doesn't even include the sprinkles. And I've got 12 grams of sugar in my hobnobs, because you're looking at 6 grams of sugar each biscuit. So just in my 11s meal, I'm looking at 26 grams of sugar, almost my entire daily allowance of added sugar. Once you now add in breakfast, I'm already looking at 38 grams of sugar and I haven't even touched lunch.
Right guys, I'm going on lunch.
Oh, it's that time already. What do I fancy? A Tesco meal deal.
Now, for those of you who don't know what a Tesco meal deal is, firstly, do you live under a rock? You get a main, you get a snack and a drink at a discounted price. The main is typically a sandwich of some form, the snack is crisps or chocolate, and a drink. So I opted for the Southern Fried Chicken, the San Pellegrino for my drink, and a Snickers bar for my snack. So back out of roll, I got a Southern Fried Chicken wrap, a Snickers bar, and a San Pellegrino orange drink. When you look at the macros and the sugars in this, 6.7 grams of sugar in the fried chicken wrap. This is the same as a Hobnob. Snickers bar is 23 grams of sugar, and the San Pellegrino drink is 14 grams of sugar. Bear in mind, I didn't get a smoothie or a Coke, Fanta, or anything else. If I did, it would be even more. But just looking at this, breakfast, my 11's a snack, and lunch, I'm already touching 81 grams of processed sugar. Done. Snickers next. Oh. So, while this style of eating might seem pretty normal, there are a number of things wrong with this day. Number one, you start the day with an ultra processed food in cereal. Now I discussed this on Instagram, a lot of people think cereal is healthy, but when you look at how processed it is and how much sugar's in it, it's up there with things like biscuits and sweets, chocolate and ice cream. It really isn't something that should form part of your day to day. Instead, you want to get something with protein in, carbohydrates and fiber. Things like yogurt and fruit, actual yogurt, not any of these fake yogurts, natural yogurt or Greek yogurt, porridge with things like fruit and seeds, avocado on toast, salmon, eggs any which way, something along those lines. Now, moving on to the 11's snack, a latte with 2 Hobnob biscuits. Now, that is obviously not a great choice to have as a snack between breakfast and lunch, but the reason why people go for that is because they go super processed with breakfast. And so what happens, their blood sugar spike, they experience a sugar crash, usually mid-morning, around 10:30, and they start to feel sluggish. And so what they need is a pick-me-up, which usually is another bout of sugar. If for whatever reason you start to run low on energy, this would be the perfect time to actually get some fruit in. Some natural sugars which are going to give you an energy release, but not spike your blood sugars. Or if you're someone who likes something a bit more savory, this is where I'd go for something like rice cakes and peanut butter. So back to the crime scene. Lunch didn't start too bad in a Southern Fried Chicken wrap. 6.7 grams of sugars is relatively low, but I wouldn't expect chicken to have sugars in it. So I'm not sure what sauce is in there, but that is probably an unnecessary form of sugar. As I said, it's the same amount of sugar as a Hobnob biscuit. And if you look at the ingredients on the back of this, it's so many ingredients. There are worse things, but this is definitely a processed food. The Snickers and San Pellegrino, for me, are annoying additions that don't need to be there. And to be honest, I blame the supermarkets for this. By them packaging up a meal deal, it encourages people to get a snack and a drink. If you were just charging something at normal price, most people probably wouldn't buy this. You buy something like Southern Fried Chicken wraps, just buy water. You don't need to go for the meal deal. And so I'd probably wait to get back to the office and maybe have some water there. And if you can't afford to spend loads of money out, maybe consider making food at home. So yeah, 80 grams of sugar, and I was being conservative. To be honest, when I was working 9 to 5, I used to see a lot worse. People will have more snacks in the mid-morning and even more in the afternoon. When they get home for dinner, who knows what they're eating then? Are they having pudding after that? Are they having alcohol? You can easily see how someone consumes 90 to 100 grams of added sugar. So after my corporate antics, I had some fruit, I had a white chocolate cookie, eggs and sourdough, and jollof, chicken breast, broccoli, kale, spinach, and shiitake. So that's everything. I thought I'd do a total of the calories and macros for the 9 to 5 worker, and then I'll do mine afterwards. So based on the breakfast, the 11's snack, and the meal deal, the calories were 1,386. In terms of macros, there was only 45 grams of protein, 195 grams of carbs, only 11 grams of fiber, total sugar was 94 grams, and added sugar was 81 grams. As I said, this doesn't factor in the extra bits, so if someone had more biscuits at 11 o'clock, the afternoon snack, what they have for dinner, pudding, alcohol, and whatever else they have. And that's why when people say they don't eat that much and they're gaining weight, you can't really trust it because they don't really track their calories, so they wouldn't even know. In terms of my scores on the doors, total calories I had was 3,294. And in terms of macros, I had protein, 140 grams, carbohydrates, 444 grams, fiber was 25 grams, sugar was 161 grams, of which processed sugars 110 grams, fat 113 grams, and saturated fat 41 grams. Hope you enjoyed this video and found it insightful. Don't forget to like it if you did. Subscribe to my channel to follow me on this journey, and I'll see you again tomorrow.